In a disturbing turn of events, the jailed Russian opposition leader Alexei Navalny faces potential life imprisonment on fresh charges of terrorism linked to his conflict with the Russian government. Navalny's accusations that his charges of fraud and contempt of court were made up to silence him are shared by human rights groups. The alleged terrorist acts Navalny committed while behind bars are still unclear, but his allies speculate the latest charges may be related to the alleged killing of a pro-war blogger earlier this month. Navalny has since had his campaigning organizations banned in Russia and labeled as extremists, resulting in a potential 30-year sentence. What began initially as a peaceful referendum on Navalny's ideas, has now evolved into a battle of wills between the jailed Russian opposition leader and the Kremlin. The Russian government has been accused of poisoning Navalny with the Soviet-made nerve agent Novichok while he was on a trip to Siberia in 2020. After receiving treatment in Berlin, he has boldly accused Russian President Vladimir Putin of being behind the attack. Now, as Navalny faces potential life imprisonment for the alleged terrorism charges, a rare petition earlier this year from a group of Russian lawmakers and doctors have also used their full names to demand that he receive better medical care, despite the risk to them of being prosecuted for voicing dissent. Reports of Navalny's stomach pains due to slow-acting poison and guards denying his food deliveries from friends and family leave the world wondering if he will be able to survive these damaging charges. Adding to this troubling story is the separate case of well-known Kremlin critic and former mayor, Yevgeny Roizman. Roizman has been facing up to 5 years in prison for discrediting the Russian army's Ukraine offensive. Despite his popularity in Ekaterinburg, the authorities chose not to detain him until now. The many charges and sentences that Navalny and Roizman face are suggestive of an underlying and much larger issue between the two brave political dissidents and the Russian government, an issue that has become apparent with the latest developments in their cases. It is clear the potential consequences for their courage and conviction to add their voices to the fight for greater freedom and social justice in Russia are becoming more and more dire. As Russia is thrust into a boiling political climate, it remains to be seen what will become of Navalny and Roizman and what kind of impact the charges against them will have on their mission to create change from within.